So a lot of people ask, when do I need a notary? Well, you need a notary when you close a real estate transactions. So let me start from the beginning. Usually when you buy a house, you're going to be looking for a realtor. The realtor is going to be able to help you find that listing that you want and then sign the offer that you need. So after that, usually you would then go to a mortgage broker to get the financing that you require to finish purchasing the property. Once you've done both, that's when I come in. I finish all the registration process and all the legal paperwork to ensure your mortgage is in place and to make sure that I get the house that you want into the land title office to make sure you are the registered owner for that property. A lot of people ask me what's the difference between a notary and a lawyer. Technically, there is no difference when it comes to real estate transactions. Every time you complete a transaction in the real estate conveyancing, the notary's legal liability is the same as a lawyer's. And of course, our legal rights is the same as a lawyer as well. So there is no difference. If you register with a notary and if you register with a lawyer, it is the exact same at the land title office. So we will do the exact same documents and we will do the exact same procedure. And of course, everything is the exact same. So a lot of people like to ask me, hey, how much money do I need for completing the real estate transfer? So of course you need to look at your purchase price and the deposit you've already paid the realtor. After that, you're left with the big remaining balance. Then that's probably when you need to double check how much you have in your bank account and then double check with the mortgage broker how much you need to borrow for the financing to complete the rest. However, small disbursements like legal fees, strata company document fees, insurance document fees, and whatever the bank may require, those would be added on top. However, those disbursements, generally, it's not that much. It's about $1,500 to $2,000. Generally, you'll be okay. But of course, you would also need to do the strata adjustments and property taxes depending on what time of year you're doing the completion. So a lot of people are confused about the timeline. Hey, when am I going to come see you? When do I need to pay? So there's always something called the completion date. The completion date is pretty much the deadline that you need to get everything done by. So let's say if the completion date is December 31st. Usually, then I would get you in several days before December 31st because I need several days time to basically get everything ready. However, a lot of times the timeline is not up to me because it would depend on when I receive the mortgage documents, it would depend on when I receive the strata information and all the other necessary documents. We are always the last step. So once I've collected everyone's instructions, everyone's information, we will get everything together and let you know how much you need to bring me in the form of a bank draft, and then we'll make that appointment after explaining all the documents to you for you to come into my office to sign everything off. So when you're selling your property, of course, the first thing that you're gonna want is, hey, where's my money? So usually when we complete that property transfer on the completion date, everything is going to be done on the buyer's side and that lawyer or notary will let us know when money is ready for pickup. But of course, there's traffic. We do live in Vancouver, so you have to make sure you give us some time to get the courier to get the money over to us. But because banking hours are also quite short these days, so they may close early. So sometimes if the courier comes over and the bank is already closed, unfortunately you won't be able to get that money on the day of completion. But the rule of thumb is most likely you will get that money the next day. So usually we tell the clients we will definitely get you money the next business day after the sale completes. So if your sale completes on a Friday though, most likely you won't be able to get the money on Saturday, you'll probably get the money on Monday. But if your completion date is on Monday, you may get the money on Monday night. However, most likely you'll get the money on Tuesday. So a lot of times a realtor asks me, hey Cheryl, can I release the keys to the buyer? If the completion is already done, if the courier is already en route, and if the buyer's notary or lawyer has already told us the registration details and we've got most of the things, we generally can tell your realtor it's good to go. Because basically the liability would be on the buyer's lawyer side and of course on our courier side because everything is already kind of done. So it's totally up to you though if you want to give the keys early or not, but at the end of the day, the legal contract is still based on the possession date that is listed on the contract. So it's totally up to you if you would like to give it earlier to the buyer or not once everything is done. On the completion date, everything is done electronically at the BC Land Title Registry. So when we finish registering your property, when it's under your name, we're going to get an electronic registration number. We will then usually print that out and then mail it to your new address or whichever address that you told us to register as a proof it is already your property. Usually that is mailed out the same day of. However, a lot of people like to ask me, hey, do I get a record of the land title transfer? That's what we call the State of Title Certificate, abbreviated as STC. This STC is usually mailed over to you in about several months, because the Land Title Office also needs time to change their records. So once we receive this record, we usually will then mail it over to you. However, that is not an original copy. Do not worry if it gets lost in the mail. Do not worry if you want several copies and they only provide you with one, because as I said, everything done at the BC Land Title Registry is an electronic. Electronic documents are only for your records. They are not original documents. So you don't have to worry about getting it lost in the mail, and you don't have to worry about not having enough copies, because at the end of the day, that is only for your records, and we would be able to pull that up on the Land Title Office computer system anytime we want. That is usually accessible by notaries, lawyers, or realtors.